Hi, this is Kevin with KGMJAM, owner of Pro Advertisers Club, a totally free site to advertise on. Go to proadvertisersclub.com and join for free today and start advertising for free. Veve is probably the best platform out there right now for collectibles, best IPs, best platform, best store. But the other ones, I've got about 7 or 8 that I use on a regular basis, and then a couple more that I'm on the fence on trying to decide. And what I try to figure out is I try to look long term. Which ones are going to be around when the dust settles? When, if anybody is remembers .com time, anything with .com at the end of it, people would go out and buy it. And then 99% of them collapsed, and then what was left was the Amazon, Google, all the ones that were the legit real ones. And I think, and this is my own personal opinion, I have no other evidence than what I can tell you about, but always go research on your own. I'm not a financial advisor. Listen to your own risk. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please like and subscribe and join any links down below. That would really help me. But getting back to why I think this is one of the premier platforms is the way I vetted this platform. And that was, this is how much time I put into it. Probably about 30 seconds. And you're like, well, how in the hell can you vet a site in 30 seconds? Well, because, and I'm talking about when I decided to come to it, not, now, of course, I've been on it since August, September, so I know a lot more about it. But it took me 30 seconds to say I want to come over to this platform, and the rest is history, was because Disney was on it. That's before I knew the federal government was on it with the stamps. That's before I knew what other projects were on it, because I got an email, because I belong to Marvel's Unlimited, saying today or in a few days they're dropping the first NFT comic ever, which is the Marvel's comic that everybody knows about now. And so I said, yeah, I've been hearing about NFTs for so long. I knew nothing about NFTs though. I still could not figure out how is anybody spending $1 million on an ape or with a cigar in his mouth. I just didn't know. So boom, I go over. I get 5 comics, I think, on that first drop. All commons. And I'm seeing people sell the secret rare for $500, and I'm going, no, who the hell? I could have bought it. I had enough room on my credit card. If I knew what I knew now, I would have bought up every one I could under whatever that would max out the card. But and then it went up to 2,000 by the next day, and then now it's 40, 50,000. It's been as high as 130, I think. And so the point I'm making was I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was looking at. But because I trust the IP, the Disney, and they're not going to give out their IP just to anybody, I was comfortable with it, and I went with it. And the more I've learned, you're either going to like it less or you're going to like it more. I like it more. Now, everybody's complaining about the prices. So what? Prices have nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. Now, you got to do your own research. You just have to. But what I'm trying to say here is that people look at the prices and they're high and like, oh, this is great. And then when they go down, instead of looking at it as a discounted opportunity, they think it's no good. And the proof is, go try to talk to anybody about it. I'm not talking about the average guy on here, even though it seems that way. But if you go try to talk to anybody about NFTs, I bet you, if your family's not sick of you talking about NFTs already, they soon will be. And go out and try to find somebody to talk to NFTs about. That you get the deer in the headlight look, very disinterested. Right away, it's a scam. Don't want nothing to do with it, because that's the perception crypto and NFTs are putting out, because a lot of people are getting scammed. Because if it says NFT on it, it's got to be good, and they buy it if they're trying to jump into it. And it's was like that with crypto. It was like that with .com. Nobody believed in the internet when it first came out. You couldn't get anybody to touch it, and then it just grew. And we're in the same position now. We're in the beginning. Okay, um, there's a drop on Monday at 11, the usual time. 5 covers, 30,000 mints, 6.99, the usual. And I can't believe it when people I read they say, "Oh, I'm not going after it. It's not going to be any good," uh, because they get that perception that because the price is old now, it's not worth trying to get the drop. Because even though you can get a secret rare out of it, but let me point out something what's coming to Veve that we don't have yet, but I'm using on another platform, and it's called burning. And we don't know exactly how it's going to work on Veve yet. That they're still in the makings. They're going to do it right though. Once it comes out. But if it's anything like on Splinterlands, where I'm already burning and renting my NFTs, burning and renting already. They've been doing it for a couple years now, 3.5 years they've been on. If it's anything like that, what's going to happen is, let's say you get the common drop, and it's $6.99, and it drops down to $4 because of the way the market is now. People get all upset. I'm like, okay, just hang on to it. Why? Because burning's coming. Well, what the hell does that got to do with anything? It means that even though there's 21,000 commons going to be on the market, which ain't very much to begin with, once things kick in 5 or 10 years, or maybe in a couple years, and when I say kick in, I'm talking about the people who don't want nothing to do with crypto and NFT, the masses. Listen to this number and go look it up for yourself. Less than 1% of 1% of people own crypto or NFTs right now. If you own either one, you are a rare person in the universe. Period. The mass adoption is not here. It's being pushed. You hear it all over the media. You hear it all over everything, but it's not adopted yet. So you've got this $4 comic. What do you do with it? Well, I'm going to sell it for $4.50 because I want to go buy something else. Okay, so go ahead, do that. That's your strategy. It's your NFT. You can do whatever you want. But with burning, keep this in mind. You could wake up one day and there's only 5 of these comics left. Maybe you're the only one who decided not to burn it that night. And you got the one of one now. How valuable? Now, what's the odds of that happening? I know it's not. I mean, I don't think that would happen. But what I'm saying is the stuff that you don't think has, if you're a collector, then you're fine with it. And God bless you. That's really what the passion in this project is about. The people behind it are collectors. And they love people talking about how they just want to own it. That's it. They don't want to. Of course, everybody cares about money, but that's not their number one thing. But you're holding on to this, and the burning kicks in, and they make it incentivized for you to do so. Like maybe you get points for the Master Collectors Program, maybe whatever they could put where if you burn it, you get something that would make you want to burn it. Probably the commons, probably lesser perceived valuable things would probably be bought up and burnt. So that might drive the price up right there. But at the end of the day, there's going to be less. You might wake up one day and there's 20,000 left. Then there's 15. Then there's 12. And it would, from that point on, it would just get less and less. This platform is open to the entire world. So it's anybody's guess. The only unknown is the time frame. We know burning's coming. We know there's going to be less of them once they start burning them. How long that's going to take? It might take 10 years for them to burn them all, if that was the case. But over on Splinterlands, you combine them to make a more powerful card. It's a card game. So that's a little bit different incentive to burn it. Where here, it's probably going to be points. But listen to this. This is just an idea I got, how cool this would be. What if they drop a comic? They drop 100, they drop 1,000,000 commons. That's a lot of comics, right? And each one's $6.99. Probably wouldn't sell out right away. But in order to get an uncommon, you got to burn 10 commons. to produce the uncommon. And then you got to burn 10 uncommons to produce a rare. And then you got to burn 10 rares, ultra rare. And then the secret rare, you end up having to burn about 200 comics, whatever the number is. I'm not saying they're going to do that, but if they did, that is what I'm talking about, the making it that you want to burn things. And the Master Collectors Program might be enough. We just aren't sure what the final, what it's going to be like when they get done rolling it out. So think about that. Don't be in such a hurry to sell these comics that you don't think are worth much. Just forget about them. HODL. HODL defeats all evil. And I know that sounds kind of corny, but it's the truth. The longer you hold it, what's the downside? What's the worst thing that could happen? You lose $5. Say it disappears. You lost $5. The upside, though, is unlimited. So on a $5 bet on a comic that you can read and collect and actually enjoy it could go up in value for a very high, depending on how the system works out. And we don't know. We're learning every day. What else do we know about Veve? We learned something the other day. The Amazing Spider-Man, number 130. This was not dropped on the platform. And I did get this comic, and what they did was they send out emails if you are an annual plus holder on the Marvel Unlimited comics to 5,000. There was 5,100. They sent out 5,000. Okay? So you took the promo code and you put it on the platform, and it gave you the comic. Nobody even knew what it was. I wouldn't touch it for about 2 hours because I was convinced it was a promo that was going to hijack my account. I thought it was a racket until I studied it enough to realize that it was legit. So I got it. I sold it. I said, well, there's 5,000 of them, and I wasn't thinking too clearly, but the golden moments were coming out, and I wanted to buy. I bought the Donald Duck golden moment, which of course plummeted right after I bought it. But the long story short, I sold it, and right after I sold it, I started thinking. And this gets into the burning type thing. What if all 5,000 people don't turn in the promo code? Maybe that comic was worth a lot more than the $1,200 I got for it. It's now got a floor price of about $800, $700. But we don't have the data. March 31st is the last day you can turn in that promo. So what if only 1,000 people turn in the promo? I don't know. Now here's the thing. Here's the unknowns. I don't know what they're going to do with the leftover promos, or because I don't think they mint them until you do the promo. I'm not positive. If that's the case, they won't do nothing. And you have a very rare comic on your hands. Not me. I sold mine like an idiot. I didn't think about this till after I sold it. 2, if there is mints left, like 4,000, what is Veve going to do with them? Are they going to burn them, or are they going to spread them out? So are you stuck at 5,000? If it is 5,000, it's an uncommon 5,000. It's probably worth between $200 and $400 right now. Okay? But if it drops below a couple thousand or 1,000 or 500, it could be worth buku bucks. I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay? Now, the average on all, just a general average, is usually 10% of the holders, people who hold an item, are trying to sell it. That's just a rough number. Sometimes it's 5, but let's go the high number. 10%. There's 50 people trying to sell this. If that number holds true, that means that as of today, only 500 people have turned in that promo code. If that's correct. It could be off. I mean, it's hard to say without having access to the data, but if everything else is at 10%, it's probably a good indication that there's less than 1,000 promo codes turned in. So this could be either way you're going to win out, because if you got it for free. Now, what else does this tell us? It tells us how Disney's going to use their promo code. The promo codes are open to all the licenses. It's all whatever they want to use them for. They could send anybody they want an email with a promo code in it and say, go turn it in. I had no idea I was going to get one It just popped in. That's how they did it. Now, they also didn't do it for the Veve people. They did it for the Marvel Unlimited people over on the Disney side. And they got 2 for 1, because now a lot of Veve people are going, what the hell is Marvel Unlimited? So now it's genius. It's absolutely, this is what excites them, the way they can market this stuff. Okay. So now I'm a Disney annual pass holder. I have no clue that they're going to do any kind of promo but if they did it for the Marvel Unlimited, they might do it for Disney Plus. They might do it for Disney annual pass holders. They might do it for all the different clubs they have. They have a WDW magazine. They could see how they're going to be able to use that, and it's what we don't know. So here's the proof. That's something that I like, and that's why I know this site is only going to get bigger and better, because the way they can use it, it's unlimited to the imagination in marketing, and it's going to be, it's very exciting. We're in the right place at the right time. One more story, I'll let you go. Getting back to where it's hard to find anybody. That's why I came to YouTube. I'm driven to YouTube just so I can talk about it, because there's nobody that doesn't get sick of me talking about it or even knows what I'm talking about. So I started posting on YouTube. I got 20, 30 people. Most of my subscribers are old truck drivers that when I had my trucking show or channel going. So I don't know how many, maybe 100 are actual NFT likers listening, but it gives me an outlet to talk about it. Okay. So here's the story. On the day they dropped the Walt Disney statue, the golden moment, I was in Orlando. I'm an annual pass, so I said, I'm going to go, like some other YouTuber. Let me finish this. I was going to go and do the drop right at the statue, because I had thought I had read somewhere within the lines that people who do that would maybe have a better chance of getting, I can't remember how exactly that ideal got in my head, but I thought it'd be a cool video. So I go there, and they've got a rope that keeps cordon off, because a lot of people want to take pictures in front of the Walt Disney statue. So I'm trying to squeeze in, and they've got security Disney people, and they happen to be 2 ladies at the time, and they were patrolling the rope going back and forth, and they kept telling me to get away from it, because I wanted to get as close to them as possible, because I had that weird thought that maybe it's going to help me get a Walt drop. So we started talking, because they kept seeing me come back up to it. And they go, well, what are you doing? You want to take a picture? You got to get in line. I said, no, I'm not. I'm going after the Walt golden moment drop. And they both looked at me and they said, what is that? These are Disney employees who didn't even know about probably the biggest NFT drop that will ever be. Probably the Walt statue will be talked about forever, and they didn't even have a clue what it was. Never even heard of it, which tells you Disney was not talking to their employees about it. Which means, think about that. That's what I'm saying about how come there's nobody in the store yet. You think there is? There's 2 million people downloaded the app. We've got 500,000 daily users, but that's nothing. The main people have not adopted it yet, don't know what it is, don't care about it, don't want it, don't trust it. And until they do, we're in the beginning. You're in the right place at the right time. You just got to be smart about it and make sure you got enough time, because any money you put in could be 10 years before it really is where you want it to be at. Now, we can't get the money out right now, but that's changing. They've been installing the money transfer license, and it's in beta mode right now. So they're working on it, and eventually be able to take out the money. But we don't know how long it's going to take for this to develop into where all that group comes in, and then it's going to be a feeding frenzy, and everybody who's there early is going to be doing very, very well. So anyway, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.